A reality that defies understanding usually triggers denial, and we see the Demon King screaming in agony. He simply refused to see what was happening, while the hero defeated him right there in his throne room. In that moment, the man is forced to face the harsh truth of his humiliating and painful defeat. His proud black flames couldn't even scratch the hero's, and he's left wondering why the guy questions how the hero's blade pierced his scales and buried itself in his chest. The Demon King simply couldn't wrap his head around how this could have happened to him. In his memories, he was superior to everyone and graduated as the top student at the Demon King Academy. He studied the book called The Demon King Standard Inside Out and followed it religiously, just as the standard dictated the man built a tower and also kidnapped a few princesses. After that, he nurtured the heroes who came to save them, letting them get stronger and stronger, for a demon king rage and sorrow are the ultimate banquet, and taking them out early would be a waste. The standard taught that fattening them up before devouring them makes the meal much more delicious. He followed the standard more faithfully than anyone, and world domination was just a matter of time. With that, he absorbed the sorrow and rage of countless beings, including the heroes themselves. Thus, he became a demon king, stronger than any other that had ever existed in the world. But then he wonders why he is the one lying on the floor, defeated and totally humiliated. The Demon King doesn't understand how this happened, and the hero calls him trash, saying they are all the same. The hero mocks him, saying demons set everything up but are always shocked by the final result with a lot of anger. The Demon King questions what kind of nonsense the hero is spouting at that moment. Then the warrior explains that they always kidnap the most famous princess to send a signal. The hero calls the Demon King stupid and says if it were him, he would have finished off the king to throw the kingdom into chaos with this. The Demon King realizes that if the human king were kidnapped, humans would fight among themselves, and their rage wouldn't be focused on him, but that would violate the teachings of the standard and prevent him from growing as a true demon king. The hero continues mocking him and thanks the Demon King for sending monsters to help them train when they aren't heading to the tower. The warrior also comments that when they finally arrive at the tower, things get even better for them. He explains that the first floor is always full of weak creatures, which is perfect for leveling up according to their skills. The Demon King thinks he couldn't let the hero perish along the way because he needed to harvest more energy. He did all of this just because it was what the standard taught, and he always followed the book to the letter. Next, we see the moment again when the hero charges with full force toward the Demon King. The Demon King's face shows all his shock and rage as he realizes the truth behind everything. The hero reveals that when the tower becomes outdated, they simply eliminate the Demon King, so a new one can pop up. He goes on to say that it is basically a hunting ground made for heroes and asks if his friends agree. The other heroes agree and thank the Demon King for helping them level up, even calling him their sponsor. They continue the mockery, thanking him for the great training spot and saying the tower had some pretty good loot fallen on the ground. The Demon King can't believe what he hears and wonders if his tower was just a gym for them. The hero admits the Demon King was strong and many heroes passed away, but that only made him more famous. Then the warrior says goodbye to the Demon King and prepares to deliver the final strike with his sword. The Demon King gets furious, thinking a mere hero shouldn't dare humiliate him like that. As his life slips away, he asks himself what the Demon King's standard was good for after all. He refuses to check out in vain, and with his last strength, tries to say who he really is. Before disappearing in a final scream of fury, he declares he is the Demon King while releasing all his remaining energy. His vision starts to go dark, and his energy dissipates rapidly as he is completely defeated. The man looks up with a mix of pain and hatred on his face, accepting his bitter fate. From his point of view, he sees the heroes standing there without showing any concern for him. His consciousness begins to fade, and his vision turns to the ceiling of the throne room. At that moment, the floor of the place was completely covered with the aftermath of the intense battle that took place there. With his last strength, the Demon King curses the heroes, saying they will pay the price for everything in his eye. We see the reflection of the hero as he swears revenge for them, insulting him like that the victorious warrior observes his fallen enemy, while the Demon King swears he will make them pay. Suddenly one of the heroes approaches and says not to touch the head because the horns are his. However, when he tries to grab the horns, a strange purple energy starts pouring out of the Demon King's body. The Demon King sacrifices his last drop of life to offer one final desperate attack against them. The hero gets spooked and wonders if that is what he thinks it is, but it was already too late with that. A massive explosion of purple energy completely consumes the Demon King's body. The warrior who tried to grab the horns is caught full force by the explosion and screams in pure agony. The energy expands through the entire throne room and hits all the heroes who were present there. The Demon King's curse transforms all the heroes into flaming skeletons in an instant. In his final moments, he realizes the standard was wrong and was used to deceive them. His consciousness dissipates, while he bitterly regrets having followed that book the entire time. He wishes for one more chance to get revenge and do something about that cursed thing. His last curse echoes as the purple energy explodes over the tower, and he wishes for the orcs to devour the standard. Suddenly he wakes up startled, hearing someone calling the name Burst Diaz really loudly. The MC finds himself in a younger body and in a familiar place, but can't understand the situation. He is in the middle of a crowd and questions what the heck is happening right now. With his face sweating cold and his heart racing, the guy realizes that somehow he is alive. Then a voice calls him by the name Burrs Diaz and asks him to hurry up and get on stage immediately while walking toward the stage. He still tries to process that whole bizarre and unexpected situation. The young man realizes it can't be and wonders if this is really what he thinks it is. The Academy Dean asks Burrs Diaz what a genius like him is doing. Being so distracted on graduation day, he receives the red badge, which is given to everyone who completes the Demon King Academy. With that, the penny finally drops, and Burrs starts to understand what really happened to him. He realizes he went back 15 years in time to the day of his graduation ceremony from the academy. Burrs doesn't know why he returned to the past, but he understands that this is a huge opportunity for him. Next, the class valedictorian Burrs Diaz is called as the representative to read the oath of the new Demon Kings in front of everyone. He faces the projection of the Demon King's standard and its 6 main rules Burr stares at the Demon King's standard with a serious look full of contempt. For the first time, he remembers how he memorized every syllable of those principles to which he dedicated his entire life. He recalls that it was that same garbage that led him to his end and turned him into a toy for the heroes looking at the other graduates. He wonders with disgust if he really needs to read that again, and the worst part is that he would have to swear to follow those rules for the rest of his life in front of everyone. We see the teachers and the den smiling with plenty of pride at their best student. But inside, Burrs grinds his teeth in anger, remembering the humiliation he went through. Then the announcer calls his name and asks him to recite the great Demon King's standard with a smile of pure hatred on his face. The guy prepares to give his answer to the shock of everyone present at the venue. The MC simply refuses to obey. His classmates are completely confused by that unexpected attitude of his. He screams that he can't make such a stupid oath because following the standard is the most idiotic thing to do, with hatred in his eyes. The guy prepares to say what the standard really is. Then he shouts for everyone to hear that the Demon King's standard is nothing more than complete trash. The MC's declaration leaves all his classmates completely shocked. One of the professors is so shocked by what he hears that his glasses break on their own. The academy dean also becomes completely furious and shocked by the guy's audacity. Berzelius' shout echoes through the great academy hall in that tense moment. It was at that moment that the academy's greatest orator became the century's biggest lunatic.